Hi, Michelle here. Thanks for joining me. I'd like to talk briefly about seated posture for meditation and some options and props that can be used to help make sitting for meditation be a little bit more comfortable, especially when you start sitting beyond 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, let's get right into it. Now there's some principles that we want to keep in mind that I will show that will help the body feel more at ease and for pains and discomfort to be reduced. Now I have a cushion back here. You can see it's a large rectangular cushion. This is called a zabuton. And then I have a round cushion. And this is called a zafu. This particular zafu has like a polyester fiber fill inside, similar to what you would find in a pillow. And here's another that has buckwheat hulls in it. So I'm going to use this one. I'm going to place it here in the middle of the cushion, a little bit further back from absolute center. And then when I sit, I'm going to be a little bit more forward on the cushion. This will promote my pelvis to be tilted a little bit forward, which is one of the foundational principles for proper alignment when you're sitting. Now today we're just going to hit the basics of alignment for seated meditation. There's a lot of little fine tuning that you can do as time goes on, but here's the basics. Knees lower than hips, pelvis tilted slightly forward to bring a nice natural curvature into the spine. Elongated, straight but not stiff spine, long back of the neck. I like to think about how a king or queen would sit on a throne, very regal and upright. Shoulders are not hunched up and tense, just inviting some ease to them and just letting them gently slide down the back. Hands, whatever's comfortable. You can just let them sit in your lap like this, forward on the knees. You could use a mudra. Experiment and see what's comfortable. Eyes can be closed, or they can be gazing softly about 4 to 6 feet in front of you, gazing softly at the floor. Like this. Another option could be to use a meditation bench. Now this little bench that I have is a traveling meditation bench. That's why the legs fold down. I've had this for a number of years. So with the meditation bench, I'm just seated on it like this. Knees are lower than the hips. Hands resting comfortably. Now, meditation bench can be very helpful if you have limited mobility in the hips or flexibility in the hips. I like the meditation bench because it brings me up a little bit and it helps me to create that forward tilt in the pelvis. Experiment for yourself and see what works best for you. Now another option, again, is to go back with our round cushion, and instead of having it like this, I'm going to turn it this way. Now this posture, as you can see, looks very similar to the posture on the bench. I am a little bit higher up as compared to the bench. For me, this is a very easeful and comfortable position. Again, remembering the principles: knees lower than hips, pelvis tilted forward, relaxed shoulders, regal posture. You can also use rectangular shaped cushions for either cross-legged or even on the kneeling posture. So this again is filled with the buckwheat hulls. This actually used to be a pillow that was used for sleeping, but it's no longer used for that purpose, and so it has become another option for a meditation cushion. I'm going to place it long ways, and then I'm going to put another one on top of it just to give it a little bit of height for me. In a kneeling posture again, I'm a little bit lower to the cushion. Now, in case you're wondering about the spelling of these cushions, if you'd like to look online for some of your own, here's how you spell the zafu, and there's the zabuton. One thing also to keep in mind if you're choosing to sit in a cross-legged posture is if you notice that your legs are kind of hanging out, floating in air, you want to give your knees some support. Let me show you what I mean by the legs floating in air. More appropriately, I should have said the knees floating in the air. So if your knees, if you might find, I'm going to sit to where mine are up, that they're up a little bit, not resting on the cushion, just give them a little bit of support. This is just a little travel pillow. You could roll up a towel or use a little blanket just to give them support. Like that. Now I'd like to offer a couple of budget-friendly options for beginning your meditation practice. One thing is to check out your local resale shop, like Goodwill, secondhand store. This is just a couch cushion, just a round one that I picked up for $2. Now for me, with the flexibility in my hips, this would be a little bit low to the cushion. I would need to put something else on top of it, but it works beautifully for many people. Now when it comes to our zabuton, our big cushion underneath, if you know somebody who sews, you could ask them to perhaps make one for you. Years ago when I started meditating, that's exactly what I did. Found some old fabric that was just laying around and I made my own. Another option that may sound a little bit weird, but actually works, I have actually outfitted a meditation room in an elementary school for teachers to use doing it this way, is to go to discount stores such as like a TJ Maxx or Marshall's and go down to the pet area. This large cushion, the zabuton, is very similar in size to a dog bed. And you can actually find dog beds that are quite comfortable and work great for this purpose. And you can even find some that don't have dog bones or overly doggy themed designs on them. All right, I hope that this has been helpful for you today. And remember the key principles. Knees would be lower than the hips. I'm seated a little bit forward on the zafu. Pelvis tilted a little bit forward to invite nice natural curvature in the lower spine. My spine is upright. Think regal posture, sitting on my throne. Hands resting comfortably and then you're ready to sit. Thanks again for joining me. Be well.